How can you come to a wet fit and don't expect for you to get wet? You don't know it's blows you go get. You watching SAT TV.
Bring out the reading, SAT Telecoms.
Welcome to SAT TV News. I am Alicia George, your presenter. In our top stories, Dominica police to use CCTV camera technology for Carnival season. Former St. Lucia minister sues over visa revocation. California couple strikes gold after finding $10 million in rare coins. Details of these will follow.
You're watching SAT Telecoms.
Welcome back. Following a ceremony at a papal mass in Rome on Saturday, February 22nd, where 80-year-old Dominica-born Kelvin Edward Felix was appointed to the College of Cardinals by Pope Francis, Bishop of Roseau, His Lordship Gabriel Marzia, commented on the event, saying this achievement is a national honor.
I was at the consistory in Rome 2 days ago, on the 22nd, when he was welcomed into the College of Cardinals. It was a very impressive ceremony, and we had a delegation of about 41 people from St. Lucia, the United States, and Dominica. And everyone who attended felt that sense of pride, and being in the midst of a universal church.
He noted this was made extra special, saying that Archbishop Francis is the first cardinal in the English-speaking Caribbean. Bishop Marzia said he would like to thank God for the grace he has bestowed on this son of the soil from Dominica. Cardinals who wear red hats and robes are the most senior clergymen in the Roman Catholic Church below the Pope. Felix served as Archbishop of Castries St. Lucia for 27 years and as president of the Antilles Episcopal Conference for 3 terms. In his speech, the Pope outlined what the Church expects and needs from the new cardinals.
La Chiesa ha bisogno del vostro coraggio per annunziare il Vangelo in ogni occasione opportuna e non opportuna e per dare testimonianza alla verità. La Chiesa ha bisogno della vostra compassione, soprattutto in questo momento di dolore e sofferenza in tanti paesi del mondo.
He also spoke about those who are persecuted and discriminated against because of their religious beliefs, saying that the Church needs to pray for them so they may be firm in their faith and capable of responding to evil with good. This was the first consistory of the recently elected Pope. In more news, on Tuesday, 25th February, opposition Team Dominica met with visiting and returned Dominicans at the Public Service Union in Roseau. During the gathering, Attorney-at-Law and UWP representative for the Newtown constituency, Mr. Joshua Francis, tackled the issue of healthcare. According to Mr. Francis, Team Dominica is committed to improving the standard of healthcare and health facilities on the island.
Currently, we do not have the best hospital, and we have been hearing quite a number of discussions as it relates to improving the health sector in Dominica. And in regards to that, this morning we want to assert that Team Dominica is committed to improve health in Dominica. Not only to improve the health facility by providing a better physical infrastructure, but we are committed to ensure that we get the necessary equipments We are committed to ensure that we provide the environment to attract our health service providers throughout the world.
He noted that there are quite a number of trained medical doctors around the world, and Team Dominica will focus on bringing these practitioners on island in an effort to improve the health system. He said too often do persons have to be flown out of Dominica to receive medical attention.
And you know that the average Dominican cannot afford that. Consequently, there are times when the average person loses his or her life simply because he cannot or she cannot afford to go to Martinique or Guadeloupe for that health service. And you living in first-class countries, in first-world countries, we know that in your quest, in contemplating in coming to Dominica, you have concerns as to whether you should return simply because of this health situation.
Mr. Francis assured returning Dominicans and those who have contemplated returning to Dominica but are concerned about the healthcare system that the United Workers' Party will focus on ensuring that the health environment is improved. Touching base on the construction of an international airport, he added, before establishing an international airport, a proper health facility must be secured near the airport. In other stories, General Secretary of the DPSU, Dominica Public Service Union, Mr. Thomas Letar says he is awaiting a very important meeting with the Board of Directors of the PWC, Public Works Corporation, to discuss wages due and the future of the employees of the PWC. This comes on the heels of a 3-week deadline Mr. Letar gave to the management of the PWC to address concerns raised by staff, which to date goes unresolved.
We have made it clear that there are some issues which we want to be resolved immediately. There are those, as I said, that will take some time, but when we meet with the board, which will be very soon, we will decide what happens after that.
Mr. Letar noted a meeting scheduled for Friday, February 21st, 2014 did not materialize for many reasons, one being that he was out of state at the time. The employees' last protest action took place on the morning of Thursday, January 9th, 2014, where they complained of a number of issues, including late salary payment and job uncertainty, as the site of the corporation has been earmarked for construction of a 5-star hotel by the government.
The employees understand that the issues have to be discussed with the board. We had a first meeting, we agreed to have another meeting. We are always in contact with their shop stewards. And it's a matter of moral, it's a matter of everybody have to wait, and coming out of that meeting we decide what we do. We cannot just take action because a meeting has not been held. As I said, it's the date and timing of the meeting has to be mutually agreed to by both parties.
He noted following the meetings, if the objectives are not achieved, then they will decide how they move forward.
Public works people are very dedicated, very committed employees, and all I can tell you at this time, they continue to perform very, very well and to take their work seriously. When they have to voice their dissatisfaction, they are very, very vocal in that regard. But when they have to perform, they perform very, very well. And as I talk to you now, the guys are working very, very hard.
An exact date for the meeting was not disclosed. However, Mr. Letar stressed it will be very soon. In more news, the CDPF, Commonwealth of Dominica Police Force, will be using closed-circuit television technology for monitoring the activities during the Carnival 2014 celebrations. This was made possible courtesy of Managing Director of Platinum Security, Mr. Kimo Astafans, who partnered with the CDPF and Lime. The high-definition CCTV cameras, he said, will be installed along the Carnival route to assist the police in carrying out their functions.
Today we will be clearing the cameras because they arrived in the Dominica yesterday. The average cost for Platinum Security is in the region of $65,000. And that's only just covering the streets of the Carnival route. But the cameras that we're putting, and I mentioned that they are high technology, they consist of a light finder technology, which is if we are in a dark area, it picks up light from anywhere, be it a flashlight or a street lower down, and it enhances the imagery of the streets. We know that around the city we don't have the best lighting. We have the regular old bulbs that show yellow lighting, they're not LED. So the cameras will enhance the imagery of the city. They also day and night capabilities, meaning that during the day we have crystal clear pictures in zero lux capabilities in the environment where there's no lighting, it turns to black and white, so it allows us to see the imagery.
The police will be in complete control of the cameras, which will be monitored from a state-of-the-art command center. Mr. Astafans noted in previous years the cameras mounted on board the trucks have proved valuable, hence the reason for raising the bar with even more cameras this year.
The entire persons who are enjoying the Carnival parade will be secure, and the police would see what's going on. Now, I want to emphasize that the cameras don't shut down at 10 o'clock. The police will have full view 24 hours a day, starting from this week right on to next week. So for persons who are breaking the law and like to break no entries after 10 o'clock, the cameras will capture your license plates, and the police will take the necessary action.
Meanwhile, Assistant Superintendent of Police Claude Wicks said they will have a zero-tolerance approach to anyone who may have intentions of causing mischief during the Carnival season.
Notwithstanding the provision for taking part in the Carnival, if a police officer considers, believes that the behavior of a person or the person is acting disorderly or suspiciously, he may call on that person to give his name and address, and if he fails to do so, indeed, he will be taken away. And let me hasten to say, because this morning, as Mr. Andrew alluded to, we were on the Q95 program, the hot seat, and some people were concerned about the excessive use of force or abuse of force. The police will not abuse its force or abuse people. But let me just make it clear that the laws of Dominica has made or have made provisions for the police to use reasonable force in the circumstances. And I gave or cited the example that if someone is behaving badly in the band or within the curtilage or parameters of the band, the police is not going to stand up and allow a man to cut off his neck or cut off the neck of a citizen.
He said, to those who may think the laws of Dominica are not valid during the Carnival season, must erase that notion from their minds, as business will go on as usual, and is urging all citizens to be on their best behavior. ASP Wicks added law and order will not only be enforced in Roseau, but in Portsmouth and all districts that will host activities during the Carnival season. He welcomed the idea of the police force using CCTV cameras during the season.
That in itself will help us to fulfill our mandate in a positive way, the cameras. And yes, the Electronic Evidence Act is alive of 2010. Evidence can be made admissible rather in the courtroom should people be taken to court. We hope that that is not going to be so, but indeed it will enhance the security nature and complexion of security, given the global phenomenon of security. I'm talking about worldwide, and the forces, Dominica, ought not to be left behind. But for it to work effectively and adequately, it is important that we work together as a unit and a marriage between us as we exude energies, and it has to be sustained, and we look forward to that cooperation.
He made it clear that the use of these cameras is not infringing on anyone's right. In more stories, help here from there, exploring local investment opportunities for overseas Dominicans. On Friday, February 28th, the Agricultural Industrial Development Bank, AIDBank, is expected to host an investment forum geared at exactly that. The AIDBank, in keeping with its mandate to promote and influence economic growth and development of Dominica, has identified the Dominica diaspora as a rich source that can significantly contribute to the economic well-being of the island.
Internationally, the diaspora are very resourceful and can make a great impact. in the countries of origin. So for example, in Dominica, we believe that the diaspora, the community diaspora, are an intellectual group of creative talent or fundamental resources, and some of them have already invested in Dominica.
Today, Wednesday, February 26, the bank held a press briefing giving more details on the characteristics of the forum.
For the diaspora to be in an activity, to do an investment in which they benefit the country and they benefit themselves. So our program is going to look at all these investment opportunities that the diaspora people can get themselves involved in. What we have also found is that persons may not know exactly what it is that they can do. So they might be ready, they might be willing to help, willing to invest, but they have no idea where to start. And this forum is going to provide some information and some education and some involvement and interaction on how exactly it is that the diaspora can get involved.
Meanwhile, Mr. Julius Corbett, General Manager of Aid Bank, says the bank has the funds needed to assist the diaspora to invest significantly in Dominica.
So we want these people to be out there to showcase their business. And we will be behind this because we are creating the financing. We have funds available, and if we don't have the funds, we are in a position to go there and to syndicate that. Get some money out of other commercial banks, get other development banks within the region to help us develop our country.
He added that the Aid Bank will be working closely with the national government. The event, which has been placed on the Carnival calendar of events, will take place at the Fort Young Hotel at 10 a.m. this coming Friday. In other news, today, Wednesday 26 February, the Soufriere Primary School hosted Eat Fish Day, a school day dedicated to highlight the advantages of eating fish and its effects on the human body. Principal of the Soufriere Primary School, Mr. Erickson de Gallery, says he is happy that the school is hosting this event as a means to sensitize the public.
It's a pleasure to have you here at the Soufriere Primary School, where we come together to celebrate Eat Fish Day. We at the Soufriere Primary School, we are very happy for this occasion because it provides us with an opportunity to sensitize our students on the importance of healthy living, particularly as it has to do with fish.
The event was sponsored by PDV Petrocaribe Dominica and the Fisheries Division in partnership with Renata, the Ministry of Education and Environmental Health. The Petrocaribe family has been mapped as one of the main sponsors during Carnival season, and their generosity continued when they provided sponsorship of the event. Mr. Ian Pinard, Marketing Manager at PDV Caribe, applauded the initiative and commended Renata and other sponsors and partners involved.
The Soufriere Scottshead area is one of the leading fishing communities in Dominica. And if we are providing fish to the nation, we have to start first by also providing fish to our children and ourselves. So I think the initiative to start at the Soufriere Government School was a wonderful one.
Mr. Pinard is a former parliamentary representative of the Soufriere constituency. In other stories, 10 Calypsonians on Tuesday, February 25th, dipped for their position to perform at the Calypso Grand Finals on Saturday, March 1st. In position number 1 is three-time Calypso monarch Derek the Hunter St. Rose, followed by Wave, Leona, King Dice, Bob, Benno, Black Diamond, Buple, Picky, and Webb. Vice President of the Dominica Calypso Association, DCA, Mr. Arthur Bassi Pascal, urged the finalists to put their best foot forward. Sales and Marketing Manager of Josephine Gabriel, Genevieve Bully, stated, as Dominicans, Josephine Gabriel and Company is always passionate about Calypso, as it is an integral part of Dominica's culture.
And over the past 10 years, Josephine Gabriel and Company Limited, Heineken and Coca-Cola have partnered with the Dominica Calypso Association in the staging of the Calypso shows. This year, once again, we continue to work towards the success of the art form and are proud to be a sponsor of the Dominica Calypso Association's Calypso season. We expect all the Calypsonians to perform at their best on Saturday night and wish them all well.
During the ceremony, King Dice was not present for the dip, leaving him with the last available number, number 4. The explosion dipped on behalf of his son, Black Diamond, who was not present during the dipping. Meanwhile, manager of Lime, Mr. Jeffrey Baptiste, applauded the finalists for making it this far and challenged them to put on the best Calypso show for the 2014 season during the grand final competition on Saturday.
Any opportunity to reaffirm our commitment to the preservation of our cultural heritage, I think is very important to me. And certainly Calypso has a prominent place in Dominica's culture and Dominica's cultural heritage. As we speak about Calypso, there's Calypso happening in Trinidad and Tobago, there's Calypso that will in fact happen when other countries celebrate their Carnival. But for us, I think there's a uniqueness about Dominica's Calypso. You listen to the Calypso in Trinidad and it's different. I don't think it's about better or worse, but I think the operative word is different, and I think our Calypso is very unique, and we all must celebrate and seek to preserve the uniqueness of our Calypso art form in Dominica.
Mr. Baptiste also challenged the Dominica Calypso Association to find creative ways to package Dominica's Calypso so it can be relevant well beyond the Calypso and Carnival seasons.
So let's move away from the notion that Calypso ends in Dominica on Ash Wednesday. Yes, we need to respect our religious heritage going to Lent, but I think having a good Calypso song that can be played somewhere else outside Dominica or in the privacy of someone's home and they can enjoy it because the melody is sweet and the message is relevant, I think is a challenge we all need to set ourselves. We need to push Calypso far beyond Ash Wednesday in Dominica. And as an association, my guidance to you is you need to also find ways to generate some commercial returns from the investment that is made every year. I mean, as sponsors, we stand ready to support, but I think the DCA, as we progress, should have less and less reliance on external sponsorship because you have a product that is arguably the most popular product within the cultural art form in Dominica. Say Calypso and everybody listens. And I think you need to find ways to package it and spin it for commercial returns.
King Dice will be going for his 7th crown during the competition. This has been the local segment of the news. Coming up next, regional highlights.